All right, we're going to be working with a panade today, and we're also going to be working substitution. Sometimes you need something and it's not there. Well, you go for the next best thing. Needed breadcrumbs. Don't have breadcrumbs, but do have croutons. And the great thing about croutons is that they're made out of breadcrumbs stuck together. We're just going to unstick them with force and a blade.
That's how you unstick things sometimes.
Absolutely. So. All right, so what's going on with the panade is that there are components in the bread. It's one of the components of gluten. I believe it's the glutenin. It actually combines with the casein in the milk, and it creates a bit of a lubricant. So what we want to do is sort of make a thin dough. And know that, because this bread was dried, it's going to pick up quite a lot of the milk. So you can actually have this look like, almost like cream of wheat would be fine. And sometimes it's surprising, no matter how much milk you put in here, it's going to be solid at the end. So this is why, if you've seen over the years, people do things just because they've always done them, or they've always heard they're supposed to. You'll see people will put milk in their meatballs when they're putting in the breadcrumbs, and I've seen that happen. What's happening is it is following the ingredient list, but you're not letting the panade happen. So this actually has to have a little bit of time to come together and to soak up the bread. So this is going to go into the refrigerator for a little bit. We're going to make some meatballs. Thing is, what we're going to do is we're going to make some basic meatballs. I've done the whole gourmet thing. You'll find that every other place probably on the internet is the fancy stuff. This is just how do I whip together some basic meatballs. There's a video that we did about panades. Yeah, you're going to want to have done that about 15 or 20 minutes ago. So if you're just watching this now, shit out of luck. All right, meatballs. Whenever we start with meatballs, we want to start with a nice red wine. This one was actually aged in bourbon barrels, I believe it is. Really nice. So you want to pour that off. Get that last little drip out there. Astrovia.
Chug.
All right. Let's make some meatballs. We're going to make about 3 pounds today. So my ratio is 1 egg to 3 pounds. It's actually the same thing I use for my meatloaf as well.
Which you'll eventually see, probably.
Whisk up the egg. Now, in here, you want to have a little bit of umami. Umami! So you can use soy, you can use Worcestershire, or you can use Magi seasoning. Maybe it's a little more than that. So you see that was a half teaspoon. It is what it is. How about that? We're also going to want to bring over some of the sauce I already had working over here.
Sauce.
And quite frankly, you can actually get away with using ketchup as well. I've done that before too.
Really?
Now this is hot and that's egg, so you want to keep them apart.
Why? Is it gonna burn the egg or something?
It'll cook. You'll end up with just a little bit of scrambled eggs in there. We're not trying to make carbonara.
Oh, that actually sounds kind of good.
Well, it is when that's what you want. That's cooling down. Add the seasoning. Now I like to have all this crap mixed together to begin with, because then once the meat's in, like if you start putting the meat in, you say, well, let me add this, let me add that, your hands are all funky. Hey, but what's in that ramekin you just poured in there? Well, let me tell you real quick here. It is a tablespoon of basil, 2 teaspoons of oregano, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, 2 teaspoons of granulated garlic, secret ingredient, 1 teaspoon of powdered gravy mix, a tablespoon of salt, and a pinch of pepper. And that's what was in the ramekin. That's the spice blend. And you're kind of screwing around, and you end up behind the 8-ball, and you're like, you won't cut corners that way. Panade now goes in.
Looks like rice.
Remember, so I didn't, as you'll see in the panade video, I didn't really cover completely what panades do. I said it acts as a lubricant. Well, what it's doing, when you heat up meat, think of it as a bunch of fibers put together. And if those fibers are coarse or sharp on the edges, my face. If they're sharp or coarse on the edges, they'll grab a hold of each other, and when they pull, they wring all the moisture out of the meat. That's why you can say, well, I cooked a meatball in sauce. You would think it'd be wet and juicy and wonderful and delicious. That's not the case, because when you heat it up, it'll actually squish the moisture out of it and into the sauce. What this panade does is, imagine conditioner on your hair, like a surfactant or humectant. This makes the surface of the fibers slick. And so when they try to grab, they can't. They just twist into place. And science says it keeps about 10 to 13% more moisture. And quite frankly, more moisture is better, even if it's a little. And quite frankly, even if I'm full of shit, it only took me like 4 minutes and proved me wrong.
Le dab.
No, that was like whatever, bro. Got some garlic over here. So the whole thing, well, let's smash it, and then it stays on the board. That makes it like chunky and sticky, and I don't know. Looks like you just hit it with a club.
Word of advice: just don't chop your fingers off.
Yeah, we'll keep those.
Although to be fair, you do have extra ones, so.
Yeah, got a whole drawer full over there. So, you know.
Let's just pretend you didn't say that.
Souvenirs.
From all the people you've cooked with.
See what you did there?
No?
Not with whom I cooked, who I cooked with, like we had them over for dinner. Who's coming for dinner? What's for dinner, Grandpa? Whatever. All right.
Oh no, this is a Sweeney Todd situation gone wrong.
Going right. All right, so we're gonna go in here with our hands. Want to take your rings off. Gonna take my wedding band off. You notice it's on the wrong finger. That symbolizes that I married the wrong woman.
Oh, no you didn't.
She didn't know you were there.
Right at the right time. And that is called a perfect coincidence. No, don't go in her crotch.
No, what if you're steering? Okay. No, back to me. Apparently,
Still like zoomed in.
I guess we'll edit that out.
No, keep it in.
Wow, it smells good in here.
That's why she keeps me around. What are you looking at? Why are you looking at the paper?
I have
You had one job.
I have just short attention span. And now we go back here.
All right, this is gonna be some mild Italian sausage. You know, you like to put some seasoning in a meatball. You know, why not get something that's already a little bit seasoned, and it's the right seasonings. So, mix it all together. I am not a believer in the mix it gently and slowly and softly so that you don't blah 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 blah. I like my meatballs to be fairly snug, fairly tightly packed. I'm not looking for them to fall apart or be super extra juicy. That's what the panade was for.
Smush that meat like the meat is your ex.
Right? What do you know about exes?
BuzzFeed quizzes.
You've seen a lot of memes.
Yep.
All right, that's mixed. Now, all this sort of warmed up and it's gotten a little bit sticky, so we're gonna put this back in the fridge just for a little bit, 10-15 minutes, while I clean all this up and get the pan out and get the broiler going, and we'll pick this back up when I'm forming meatballs.
Later, dudes.
Here are the meatballs rolled up. There was a lovely 2.5 minute video of me rolling them up, but the camera's a piece of fucking shit. Here are the meatballs all rolled up. I had a nice 2.5 minute video showing it. We're going to speed that up, put all kinds of cool music behind it. But I suck at trying to figure out this camera, and apparently the red button's not the red button all the time. So we're going to go ahead and, oh, you missed that part too. We're going to broil these now at, broil temp, high broil, about 1.5 inches below the element. It's going to be 2 to 4 minutes on the first side. We don't care if it cooks all the way through. If it does, it's fine. If it doesn't, that's great too. We're just trying to set the outside so that it holds its shape and has some caramelization on it before it goes into the sauce. We'll take care of that now, and I guess we'll take a peek at them when they're done and before they go into the sauce. If you notice some of the sizes are inconsistent, well, shut up, because I don't come to your YouTube videos and screw them up. So back in the oven for another 5 to 6 minutes. And thanks to movie magic, we've got meatballs done.
Woo.
And we've got sauce done. Haha. We didn't do a video on that. Maybe next time.
The sauce.
So, I don't degrease these at all. I'm not going to take all the grease from the pan, obviously, but whatever's on the meatballs can stay on the meatballs. Give you a nice shine on top of the sauce. The thing is, if you don't have the fat from the pork and the beef, you'd have to put some olive oil on top of this sauce anyway to give it that shine. That's a little secret ingredient on how to get the shine on top. Well, those are in. They're going to sit in this sauce for, I like to go at least 2 hours. That's going to get the temperature all the way through, braise them properly. They'll be ready to serve after that. That concludes the video today. Have a great day.